Hey, how's it going? Bless.
Let me refresh. I see you on the select class screen, but I don't hear anything. Can you share screen and show me what you're doing? Anyways, I usually watch the shared screen because there's a YouTube delay, right? That's usually when I do my casting. So in your shared stream, like on Discord, I share the audio. Right. So in your shared stream, like on Discord, I hear the audio like of the game. In the YouTube one, I do not hear it, but I hear my voice now. I don't hear you though.
You can hear me now in stream. Hello everybody. We're doing a little bit of a sound check of all the things, so be patient.
Yeah, I do hear you. Yeah, I don't hear like the lobby music, for example. Yeah, I don't hear like the lobby music, for example. Yeah, I don't hear like the lobby music. I heard it now a little bit. I heard it now a little bit. Lower me just a little bit. I heard it now a little bit. Lower me just a little bit. Test 1 2 3. I heard it now a little bit. Lower me just a little bit. Test 1 2 3. I heard it now a little bit. Lower me just a little bit. Test 1 2 3. I'm hearing it on loop. Is that normal? Test, test, 1, 2, 3. I'm hearing it on loop. Is that normal? I'm hearing it on loop. Is that normal? I'm hearing it on loop. Is that normal? Is that going to confuse people? 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 Yeah, because it's still going. Yeah, because it's still going. Yeah, because it's still going. No, like what I said? Yeah, because it's still going. No, like what I said? Okay, because I don't think people want to hear the same comment and then all the text, everything I'm going to be saying, no, you know, what I said on itself, like it's going to make some horrible noise cacophony. And all the... Oh. Oh. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't have any sort of like standings whatsoever from the previous stuff because I kind of wasn't there. So like the only thing I have is going to be the. Well, I have the race results. I just don't have the points because we don't use the in-game points system. It's fine. I mean, yeah.
Alexander the 60.
Cool. So I'm gonna do an at everyone and post the link. Cool. Okay, you're good for all 4 categories, right? Cool. Yeah, we go supercard for F3, F 2, 1. Cool. Hi everybody. Welcome to Score Race. We haven't had one of those in a while. Thank you for your patience, everyone. We've been hard at work trying to get things sorted and fixed. That said, big thanks to Dwight, who has taken over the simmer role for the time being. Saying that for the time being, because maybe sharing it with Wally when Wally's work calms down. That said, we'll get going underway. Don't want to make this too long. We're gonna start with supercarts. Also quick note: the standings. We'll get those going after this race. I know we're a bit behind on everything. It's just been a bit of a mess all at the same time everywhere. So yeah, we can start talking about Miami. Miami. First time we see this, we haven't seen Miami at all the past season. Should be an interesting race overall, I believe. But before that, we are going to do supercarts, and I believe we are in Portugal.
Yep.
Yep. That is confirmed to me. We are going to be doing Portugal for carts. So yeah, let's do qualifying and get going. I'm not gonna wait too long. And the drivers are off and running around. God, I missed that awful sound of go-karts. Yeah. So, I don't recall if we saw this track last time around, since Supercard started very late in Season 1. But it's a very twisty track, as you can see. Yeah, as far as we see, drivers going through, Woody Guthrie will take a pole. So Woody Guthrie takes first place. Crash Test Dummy for Hot Wheels second. Aha, Clinton Dixbot. I believe that is not an actual driver. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So anything that has bot will not be an actual driver. So going down, we do have Yukigo 5th place, Creed Bratton 6th, Annie Skywalker 7th, Scud Muffin 10th, and that's going to be your top 10. So 10 lap race for carts. We can get it going. And they're off. So right off the bat, Crash Test Dummy will go very aggressively and will take first place from Woody Guthrie. Those two are probably going to be battling out for a little bit, but they're getting pushed by Clinton Dixbot here in the pink car. Woody Guthrie retakes first place as Clinton Dixbot now is blocking Crash Test Dummy. Yukigo now in 4th, another bot in 5th, Creed Bratton 6th, underpaid bot, Annie Skywalker 9th, and another bot somewhere around there. There's a lot of drivers jostling for position in the midfield. We see some drivers already starting to have a little bit of damage on them. It's a short race, but you still don't want to continue bumping. And the second lap, third, Woody Guthrie has taken a very big lead as multiple drivers struggle to pass the Clinton Dixbot. 1.31 seconds ahead for Woody Guthrie as he has at least one corner gap now to the Alpiner bot. Creed Bratton now comes up in 3rd place, Yukigo 4th, Scud Muffin 5th. Crash Test Dummy has fallen down all the way back down to 6th place. A few battles here and there, and we see a wave of drivers that were in that very tight pack all go into the pits for repairs really early on. Probably not the best thing you want to do. I'm expecting a few more drivers to come in soon for repairs. Here they come. And Woody Guthrie is going to have an absolute massive gap here for himself. Although those those cartwheels are actually degrading really hard, so he's probably gonna have to come into the pits as well, change off those hards, and there we go. Question is, where does he come out of? The last spot coming into the pits, Woody Guthrie will come back 1.37 seconds ahead of Bot and Clinton Bot. But in all reality, Woody Guthrie is actually being chased by Creed Braden, the next human player, let's call it this way. Couple battles going around there. We have, I believe, Mini Driver, Scott Muffin, and Crash This Dummy all battling for what seems to be the 5th place at the moment. But yeah, Bot and Creed Braden trying to close the gap to Woody Guthrie, but he's holding on very tightly for that position. That's a very dominant performance, all things considered, for Woody Guthrie, as refuses to relinquish that first place other than for a few corners in the first lap. But winding down, currently on lap 8 out of 10, Woody Guthrie being, pulling ahead a bit. We're making that gap now over 2 seconds, as the others are starting to stretch out along the field. But the gap is massive, and drivers are coming into the pits again for a second pit stop, which I believe some drivers will not need to do. All those hard tire runners will be able to hold on to that. Couple things to note as well for everyone. Maple Syrup has now changed to this banana yellow. And we have the Alpiners in that pink cars nowadays. But Woody Guthrie is about halfway through his last lap. Comfortable lead over Scud Muffin, who didn't pit a second time. But hard tire strategy paying off. And one last corner, and Woody Guthrie will win the Portuguese kart race. Scud Muffin will come and get second. Bot third. Creed Braden fourth. Clinton Dixbot fifth. Crash This Dummy sixth. Jin Bot seventh. Yukigo eighth. Mini Driver ninth. And another Bot 10th. Give me a second. I will be taking the results screenshots for our race results.
Let me know when you want me to scroll down to the next 10.
I will let you know. I just have to create the table stuff. SK Portugal. Okay, let me. Where are you? You're here. Position, time, best, all that. Race result. 1, you can scroll down. And I would like to tell you that apparently we can hear the Discord pings.
Oh no, okay. Is that from my end or is that from yours?
From your end.
Those should be muted. Huh. Okay.
It's fine. We're still sorting out the kinks.
Yeah.
Can you scroll down for the second half of the race results? And race results. Boom. And that's that. Woody Guthrie will win. Scott Muffin second. Bot third. Creed Braden fourth. Clinton Dixbot fifth. Crash This Dummy sixth. Jinbot seventh. Yukigo eighth. Mini Driver ninth. Bot 10th. That will complete your top 10. Well, moving on real fast to Yeah.
Formula 3, and this is where we get to see Miami, which Miami,
Yeah.
I believe, was kind of a longer one. Or
I believe that also the Miami track is a custom track from the workshop.
Yeah, it absolutely is. There are about 4 of them, and they all are pretty identical. So yeah, make sure everything's right.
Yeah,
where it
there
goes
is
down
one
to
thing
3.
that is wrong that we forgot to do, and it's if you go back to the teams settings.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No.
I believe Mole Adra has renamed to Mole KTM Racing. Just want to get that fixed.
I did not know that. I was going off of the sheet, so that makes sense.
That's fine. Well, again, we're ironing some little kinks here.
So it was Mole KT, you said?
KTM.
KTM Racing.
M.
M as in, like, Michelle?
Yes.
Alright, perfect. Cool.
It's like the motorbike.
Perfect. All right.
There we go.
Everything
We'll fix things here and there as we go along.
So since it is F3, it is 15 laps, and tire wear is down to 3 because it's a longer course.
Yeah.
So, and there's also a weird spot as the map. I think I'm gonna have to change the zoom on this because this map is just so weird.
Well, we'll have our first look at the Miami track. We haven't seen it at all, but as you can see, it's a lot of parking and there's a stadium. But other than that, the scenery is very... it's a lot greener than it actually is in real life. But yeah, so Lady Driver, Sophia Toth, Scott Pilgrim, Ray Alexander. We'll see how they do once they get to the straights. But it looks like Sophia Toth for Mole KTM is just in the lead here as they round out the final corner now. And we'll see the times. And it will actually be Scott Pilgrim taking the pole position for Alpiner. Chester Kurt will take second, Lady Driver third, Sophia Toth fourth, Ambrose Rowe fifth, Gustav Skogard, Pastor Maldonado, Mark Martin, Miguel Duhamel, Ray Alexander complete your top 10. Bottom half, we can look at real quick. Pete Savage, Castiel Angelic, Fillmore Carlin, others. It's fine. It's fine. We're getting used to it.
I was fast into that one. My mistake.
Yeah, but they're off for the main race. Sorry, guys. I'm also rusty since the last time I casted. Scott Pilgrim and Chester Kurd are fighting up now for the first place off the get-go. Meanwhile, Lady Driver and Sophia Toth are going to be fighting for that third place as Sophia Toth's co-driver in that Mark Martin was actually going to both of them as the back behind the top two is kind of bunched up. Yeah, what can we say about Miami? It's a lot of walls, as you can see. It's another reaction track. The rules have put reaction tracks really early on in this season. So again, key to all these tracks is to not bump too much with your opponents or the walls. As Scott Pilgrim, pulls away and is now being chased by Sophia Toth, who pulled a move down one of the straights there to get ahead of Chester Kurt. Chester Kurt comes back on the very long straight there using the turbo and slots back right into second. A little bit of a group afterwards between Pastor Maldonado, Lady Driver, Gustav Skogard, and Ambrose Rowe, who are all bunched up together, catching up to Sophia Toth. In fact, Lady Driver will pull the move on Toth, using those hard tires very well. Chester Kurd now using even more turbo in there to retake first place, but those medium tires are going to be suffering a bit with all that turbo that he's used. But for the moment, Scott Pilgrim and Sophia Toth will be chasing him down. Pastor Maldonado right there passes Lady Driver for fourth, dives down the inside and pushes Toth out of the track. Outside of any game, outside of this game, this would have been not necessarily a very clean move. Chester Curd, meanwhile, continues to increase that gap, and this time it's on Lady Driver. So there's a bit of jostling for position between the top 4 or 5 drivers at the moment. Some fall back, some get back ahead. But the soft tires are starting to suffer a lot here, 4 laps in. We'll see if early pit stops will be coming in.
You'll also see as the pit stop, drivers can actually miss the pit stop. They can get pushed by other cars, or they can just outright miss it due to traction issues, and they can actually get caught in a perpetual state of trying to go into the pit stop, and it can cause them to take a tremendous amount of wear. So it's something to look towards as we get towards some of the lower or more worn tires when we get further along in the race, to see if that becomes a problem for some vehicles.
By the way, are you also can they hear you now, or?
What do you mean by that?
Can anyone hear you now, or just me?
I think.
Okay, yeah. Just making sure that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should repeat that or not.
No, I unmuted myself so people could hear me.
That's fine. Yeah, where are we at? Sorry, got taking a.
Lady Driver and Chester Curd are in a real battle for first right now.
Yeah. If we can maybe focus on them, let's see where they're at. You can press 1 on your keyboard to go to position 1. Yeah. Lady Driver now in the lead on those hard tires, coming in actually to change off those hard tires, which means Chester Curd is in the lead, but actually Sophia Toth overtakes him at the start of the first corner and builds a massive gap there. Those mediums for Chester Curd are just gone at this point. Has to come into the pits very soon. But Ambrose Rowe also gets past Chester Curd, so does Pastor Maldonado, Lady Driver as well. Chester Curd has absolutely fallen off a cliff on those tires, going 1 lap too many. But yeah, what do we make of this race so far? A lot of hard tire runners, some medium tire runners, some soft tire runners. Definitely, we might need to relook at Miami in terms of tire wear in the future, just for the amount of how fast the degradation is. Even 15 laps, maybe 1 pit stop. We'll have to figure it out. Yeah. Again, new season, new tracks. We have to figure stuff out. Didn't have that much time to properly test the tracks here and there for some of the older ones, newer ones, I should say. But yeah. In the meanwhile, lap 9 out of 15 started. Sophia Toth on those soft tires, beginning to be caught up by the hard tire runners of Lady Driver, Pastor Maldonado, and Scott Pilgrim. Ambrose Rowe has gone for a second pit stop on yet another set of hards. But yeah, it looks like the hard tire is the favored tire as of now. It'll be interesting to see how long that hard tire lasts, considering everyone's already done 1 pit. But Toth goes into the pits and goes on to a fresh set of softs, leaving Lady Driver, Maldonado, Pilgrim as your top 3, but Toth will be coming back hard on those tires. Wondering though if that's a bit of a premature swap for Toth, and who will probably be on very worn softs by the end, considering the degradation. So although there is a bit of a gap at the moment, it's going to be interesting to see whether or not the gap closes down and when the leaders are going to pit, if at all. But Toth is coming back strong and now back up into second on that back straight. But I'm calling it back straight because it's just the first. I think there's like 3 different straights here. It's very difficult to figure out which one to call the back straight. Although this one might as well be called the back straight. Lady Driver, in the meanwhile, is trying to overtake Juan Pablo, who is being blue flagged. So that's not going to be helping him his race back in 20th. Yeah, 12 laps in, we're starting to see a lot of cars. Yeah, Sylvia Toth will take first place now, battling both Lady Driver, who seems to be slipping a lot there on those used hards.
Yeah.
Ambrose Rove coming from McLaren as well. Early second pit stop for Ambrose Rove, paying off at the moment.
You see how Steve gets stuck right there in that, and he's taking a bit of damage really quickly.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah.
That might be a bug to fix with the track itself in the future.
Yeah, maybe change the position of the entry for the pit stop or something like that.
Something like that. You have to remember, a lot of these tracks that are in the workshop were not necessarily made for AI to drive, they were made for people to race.
Oh, absolutely.
So there are some sort of like AI issues here and there, but we can try and figure it out for the future. But Sophia Toth goes back into the pits actually at the same time as Lady Driver. Ambrose Rove is going to have the great opportunity there to go for the win. I was not expecting Toth to go back, but a fresh set of softs, very aggressive strategies. I believe that's 3 sets of softs this race for Toth, maybe even a 4. I don't remember what she started on.
Yeah, this is her. She's on her 4th set of tires, so she's pit 3 times.
As we see Ryan Gosling going into the pits. And Ambrose Rove decides to not go into the pits and go for it. The end, those tires are worn. 2.43 seconds gap to Toth, who is closing it rapidly down the S's here. Much more traction than Rove, but Rove does have the boost. Toth also has some of the turbo. And down the straight, Rove will hold on to the place with the inside line, but still a whole bunch of the race goes, and Toth will take the lead now, passing him just before the final big straight. Very interesting call by Rove. I think it was the right call. I think that it was just not his race today, as Toth takes the win. Rove will hold on for second, as Lady Driver could not close and finishes third. And the race results, F3, and now we can start taking them. So, yeah, Sophia Toth wins the first Miami F3 race, followed by Ambrose Rove for McLaren, Lady Driver on Hot Wheels 3rd, Pastor Maldonado, Mercedes 4th, Scott Pilger for Alpine 5th, and then the rest of your top 10 is Miguel Duhamel, Phil McCarlin, Mark Martin, Gustav Skovgaard, and Chester Kurd. Kurd with a terrible race in the end with that, I don't want to say botched call, but questionable decision when he was leading the race. And then looking on the second half of the standings. Taking that as a screenshot. No, Ray Alexander, Castle Angelic, Dale Gordon Jr., Alexei Ozolinj, James Dion, Pete Savage, Ryan Gosling, Caleb Hayden, Juan Pablo, and Steve rounds out the race. What to say about Steve? Very unlucky there. Part of it is also the bug that there's towards the entrance, but it's like he was running very high up as well in the points position before that issue. There we go, posting the F3 race results. Any comments on the race from you?
It was kind of an entertaining race fight for first at the end. It was really cool to see how the tires and going in for the extra pit for Toth really came in and really gave him the edge over Rove from McLaren. So it's always cool to see when the pits and tire decision play a factor in the win.
Yeah, I'm also expecting a lot of the drivers that were in the second half of the standings to be very happy that these two reaction tracks are out of the way. There's more reaction tracks coming, of course, if you've seen the season schedule, but I believe that this is going to be a nice break for them as a whole to move to, other types of tracks.
Oh, absolutely, and there's still plenty of time in the season for them to get better at the reaction tracks if they're looking to hit a baseline or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, this season has a lot more reaction tracks compared to season 1. So the ones that invest into reaction might be very happy with that. That said, let's move on to Formula B or Formula 2, whatever you want to call it.
Formula 2. Do you have any front runners for the race for reaction, or anyone that you think will really do well?
I honestly haven't looked at the driver points distribution. I can quickly look at the past races. If we look at, I should say the past race, who won the last race was Topalo, who won it, with Simmer, Utah, Popcat, Von Salinar being like your top 5. So I'm expecting some of those guys to still be up there at the front. It's just a matter of the tire choices, the pits, and how much damage they can take or avoid to take.
Yeah, absolutely. Alpiner has been really, really strong on the reaction track, and Volkswagen has also have some really strong members for these tracks.
Let's go. I'll let you just.
For this one.
I believe so. It's still one lap qualifying.
Yep, and we'll just keep everything the same for that. See how it goes. With the positioning of the camera for the in-race, did you want me to keep it on the first place, or?
Feel free to move along to where you find interesting content. I usually look at the standings on the left, and also to find like the close, things that are close by, close to one another.
Yeah, because there was a point in the middle of that race where.
Yeah, you can use the number keys, like the number row, to go from 1 to 10, and then you can use the numpad if you have that to go through 11 through 20.
Oh, perfect.
Directly. Qualifying at the moment, it looks like, let's see. Well, Buddy Utah will take the pole, pipping Harrison Andrews right at the very line by a gap of 0.08. Very close there. That little boost of turbo from Utah just got in that pole. Jimmy Johnson, Merritt, how'd you say that? Merritt von Salinar will be the second row on the grid. Third row will be Nash Topalo, our first race winner, next to Popcat. Tess Simmer 7th, Connor Fox 8th, Kyle Buschlein and Alex Albono 9th and 10th for Hendricks there, I believe. Then the second half of the grid will be Steven Toast, Kiel Holmberg, Mickey Mouse, Zoom Zoom, I Go Quick, Mamma Mia, Dalton Canders, Willie Miller, Victor Ree, The American, and Bottom Splits.
The name
Again.
Does fit. The name does fit.
And you're the bottom split. You're called Bottom Splits on a reaction track. And just let me check something. If you can pause real quick.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'll be right back 1 second.
Absolutely.
Sorry, we do have Project Sync joining us for the booth for Formula 2 and Formula 1. That's going to help me a lot with with this.
Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
well, thank you for having me as well for this.
Yeah, I would have brought you in earlier had I seen you in the booth, didn't in the race day chat. But yeah, let's get going and onwards to the race.
All right, then. Here we go, then.
And immediately from the get go, well, I think Harrison Andrews is going to hold on to the lead, but Buddy Utah, Merrick Rachel from Selenar, I will get this name right one day, are right behind him. Jimmy Johnson, Popcat, you're round out your top 5. Harrison Andrews there for Alpine, really having a rough time there, holding Merrick for that lead. As we see Popcat using some turbo there to get himself all the way up to 3rd down that very long straight.
Yeah, I think I saw Jimmy Johnson, well, biggest loser out of this first lap. Unfortunately, to start from 2nd and end up in currently 5th as it stands.
Yep. And Popcat there, another boost of turbo, but Merixel also responds to that, holding onto that first place. Very good defensive use of your turbo. Very important to use your turbo defensively when you're in the lead. But that means you're out of turbo for this line, and that means Tess Zimmer will take the lead of the race. There's a nice little group of 5 cars here that is breaking away from the pack. You can definitely tell the ones who have invested points into reaction versus the ones that have invested less.
Yeah.
But small groups here and there. So I mean, we have the front group of 5. We have a following group of 3 cars there. The following group of 3 cars also are running on hard tires compared to the leaders that are all on softs except for one on mediums.
Yeah,
so
just mediums and Zoom. I got quick on that. Will be interesting to see how they come out when tire changes will be in play. I believe, unless I'm missing something.
well, we do see some cars go in already. Popcat and Von Selenar actually go into the pits.
Oh, jeez.
Either they took some damage battling there, or they really burned through that soft tire.
And well, Popcat's going for another set of soft on Selenar, switching from medium. There's a hell of a battle up top between Testema and Harrison Andrews. Harrison Andrews coming out worse. In comes Jimmy Johnson with the turbo, and
well, Jimmy Johnson and Andrews there do have some damage. They have to be careful. But all 4 of our leaders dive into the pits for some fresh tires. Both Alpiners there. Both, I forget what the purple car is.
Volkswagen.
Thank you.
Hey, Volkswagen.
So after all these pits that very early on there, we do have the pack back together. Somewhat. Tess Zimmer from Von Selenar, Popcat, Jimmy Johnson, followed by the Alpiners of Topalo and Andrews a bit further back. Interestingly enough, it says that Topalo is still in the pits, even though he is not. Hopefully that changes. There we go.
Yeah. Bit interesting there for a moment. And yeah, Tess Zimmer is forming a hell of a gap right now from the pack.
Von Selenar, their massive use of turbo down that straight almost hits the outer wall there. Had a bit of trouble braking, but we'll get back into a 2nd place and use the last bit there to eke out a bit more of a gap as Popcat closes in. There's a very big game of who uses their turbo wins. Meanwhile, Tess Zimmer, though, holding on very well to that lead. 2.3 seconds now ahead.
Yep. 2.7 now.
Big.
Jesus. I think it was actually growing a bit more, but I don't know if for a moment his heart was falling back, but no, it's just making all the most on the straights, whilst Van Sandler is trying to catch up with with Topalo.
Yeah, Capello now all the way up to second. Von Salinar going back into the pits again. This time swapping to the hard tires. Definitely, tire wear is very high in Miami. Was not expecting 2 pits within 8 laps. That might be something we revisit next season.
I think we're gonna have more pits. Like we could have 4 or 5. Oh, Topalo used all his boost on the back straight, but Test Simmer just gets it back easily before the home straight.
Yeah, and they go through to start on the 9th lap. So your championship leader, and well, out of one race, Topalo is just making the overtake now for the lead of the second race of the season. A little bit of boost there, and we'll get the gap going on Test Center.
Yeah, and looks like they're catching up to the American. Wait, the American.
The American at his home, one of his home races, I guess, is not finding it very fun to be the American. I'm sure he wishes he would be the anything else but American tonight.
I mean, he could be the Florida man. Wait, that wouldn't work out. But yeah, now he's a lap down, and it's only gonna get worse. I think we could see him again late in the race.
I'm expecting Testament to pit very soon. Look at those hard tires in the top right corner. Very worn.
Impressive that he's holding out this long, but he has to this time round. He's losing time.
Yeah, his tires are. Oh, but he continues. The Volkswagen team is on a strategy, and they are going to respect that strategy no matter what. But this is going to cost them a lot of time compared to Topalo, who is able to make that break. It's already over 3 seconds now.
He is slipping a lot. Like.
If we put ourselves on Topalo right here for a second, let's look at his tires.
Yep. Yeah,
his tires are also going. So I expect both our leaders to go into the pits very soon, if not now.
Yeah. What Topalo doesn't. Andrews passes Test Simmer. And yeah, Test
Simmer does go into the pits. Swaps to a pair of medium shoes.
Looks like he probably has 2 more stops in mind then.
At least. Yeah. I mean, even with hards at the rate they're going, I believe drivers would have to go like hard into soft or something like that, or hard into medium to finish the race.
Hard into medium just so you can actually finish without any risk. But jeez, I don't think I remember Miami being this tire, like all the tires just going. I see the pinks going in, Topalo and his teammate.
Yeah, well, Topalo's coming out on softs right there. Very aggressive strategy. If he can do soft to soft, that'd be an amazing strategy to finish off the race. Meanwhile, Test Simmer might have to go medium to medium to try and get to the finish line.
If Test Medium can get 6 laps out of those mediums, he can go soft, and it will be a very interesting way to finish.
But yeah, we're halfway through. We're just over halfway through, so let me run you down the running order. Test Simmer leads from Topalo, Von Salinar third, Harrison Andrews fourth, Buddy Utah 5th, Popcat 6th. The rest of your top 10 will be Cal Busch Light, Jimmy Johnson, Steve Toast, Alex Albono. It's looking very calm, all things considered. A lot of gaps over a second. We do have some fighting there with Connor Fox down in 11th. Maybe we can have a quick look at that, or actually let's stick with the leaders as Nash Topal is closing in the gap really hard there, under a second now as they overtake lap cars round the outside.
Jeez.
Topalo's got at least half his boost there left, so that back straight is going to be very fast.
Yeah, but he only has half his tires, which is a bit more than Tessimmer can say. In comes Topalo with the boost.
Is going to go for the dive. Nope, but both of them go wide. Tessimmer goes in for the pit, actually, so
I think
Topalo will stick... Oh, it could run another 2 laps.
Yeah.
And
Tessimmer
with
comes out on medium.
2 laps, maybe you inch into a hard tire to finish. Definitely a very high pit stop race here in Miami.
3 pit stops already. We're going to see 4.
We're definitely going to see 4. Some drivers, maybe in the mid-pack, will even go all the way up to 5. But again, that's the rules of the game, and at the end of the day, whether it's high dag or low dag or mid dag, everyone's got the same amount of pit stops available to them.
Dag is a friend of everyone.
But Topal also goes into the pits on medium tires now and is back to chasing down Tessimmer. So tires are about a lap or 2 younger for Topalo. And yeah, the chase is on. Definitely a two-driver race at this point between Tessimmer and Nash Topalo.
Yep, although Topalo is being held up by blue cars. I guess by now.
It's a bit above the same as well for Simmer. They're being kind of held up by one of the Ferraris, which I can't figure out which one it is. Probably... I can't tell. The names are too small. Of course, Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse's home race here in Florida.
Yeah. Speaking of Florida, man, he doesn't want to give up at all.
Oh, and look at that. Topalo is closing in. I mean, no blue flags here. Only blue tags.
And Tessimmer must be fuming about it, because of the corporate arms of Disney. In comes Nash Topalo with the pass to take the lead.
Yeah, and look at that. I mean, finally Mickey Mouse gets overtaken by Tessimmer, but he's lost so much. And look at that. Mickey Mouse is back at it. Down the inside. This is a conspiracy theory.
If I'm Tessimmer, I am never buying any Disney products ever again. I am going to stick solely to Dreamcast and to everything else, Nintendo included. Oh, talk about a travesty for Tessimmer. Now Nash Topalo has a 2.5 second gap.
Yeah, and Topalo will probably pit once more as well, based on the tire degradation, from what I see. So
yep.
Definitely your top runners will be just doing a 4-pit race. There he goes. Probably comes back into with mediums to go to the end. Potentially softs.
I think you can do softs. Softs it is.
Softs it is. And Tessimmer now is the one that is actually going on to... Well, he hasn't changed tires now, so his tires are gone. And look at that. Topalo might have just won it right there with that move. Doesn't even have to push hard. He's already on Tessimmer and overtakes him.
Yep, and with Tessimmer's tires, he has to pit next race, so Topalo easily...
The question now is, can Harrison Andrews come and take second place for Alpiner? This could potentially be a 1-2 for them. Look at that. Tessimmer still doesn't go into the pits. This is...
Oh, no.
This is very questionable.
And now he's back behind Mickey Mouse again.
He is drifting every single corner. Look at that. Look behind. Look at behind. The second pink car of Alpiner is coming. And coming. And coming. And down the inside. And now Harrison Andrews is second.
And he's gone as well. And not only that, Mickey Mouse, Connor Fox also gets around. Oh, this is horrible there for Tessimmer. Surely he pits.
He has to dive into the pits here.
Yeah,
There we
fine.
go.
Because that race has turned from a normal race into a rally course.
Yeah, I mean, look at who's third. Buddy Utah on those medium tires, 5 pits, but fresh tires, and don't know if Tess Simmer can catch up to that with like 2 laps left because the tires are worn.
I don't know if he can. Those mediums are not outright worn, and there's 3 cars right between Buddy Utah and Tess Simmer. This could be it. This could be our final results right here now.
Absolutely. We can quickly hop on with our race leader here, who is on his last lap, National Palo. Rounding out and now on the last straight. I mean, look at those softs; they're already burnt. They're
burnt. I don't think he'll care. He can do donuts.
He doesn't care. He's got so much of a lead. Running on the hairpin into the last curve here, and will cross National Palo back-to-back winner to start the season. Coming in right now, Harrison Andrews with the good tire strategy will take second place. Tess Simmer recovers barely, overtaking Buddy Utah there to get the last place in the podium, but he'll be kicking himself for waiting for so long to get that last pit in.
Oh, what a tragic race there for Tess Simmer. Just stayed out too long, but National Palo, what a drive and absolute reading of his tires to get the win. And Alpine 1-2. Oh.
Yeah, I'll let you read off the race results while I take the screenshot.
Alright then, so round 2 here in Miami. National Palo wins with Harrison Andrews taking second place. Tess Simmer comes in third, but picking up fastest lap of 35.87. Buddy Utah comes in third place. Then Maricex runs out with Hot Wheels. And Hendricks comes in 6th, Cal Busch Light. Popcat with Sad Italians 7 the followers. Jimmy Johnson 8, Steven Toast 9, and Connor Fox at 10th place to round up the top 10. And just outside of the top 10, Alex Albono with Hendricks, Mickey Mouse 12th place at his home race. Dalton Canders 13th, 14th Willie Millers, 15th Zoom I Go Quick, Mamma Mia at 16th, 17th Victory, 18th Kjell Hjornberg, 19th Bottom Split, who is no longer bottom, and the American unfortunate to finish 20th with McLaren. Whew.
That was quite a race. That was kind of messy, very much so. Moving on. I mean, let's keep it going very well. Yeah, let's do that here before they go. Just because that is kind of high. I will also allow you to change side Italians back to Ferrari.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Ferrari were really sad Italians in that race. It's fitting.
Ferrari.
You know, for that reason, I could just call Ferrari sad Italians now.
Yeah. And we are at 34 laps this time around. Yeah, just exit. It's also 2 qualifying laps for F1. Bring the tire weight down a notch, and let's go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Formula One. 2 laps.
The best of the best.
The best of something. Remember that the first race of the season, the Hood brothers finished 1-2 for Aston Martin, followed by Dadley. Van der Buysen and Devil also were in your top 5. So these are probably the ones you want to look out for this time around as well.
Yeah, fair.
Again, Miami, a reaction track, as we said. The one that you really want, not many of last season, only 2 races, and now the first 2 races of the season are reaction tracks, with more scattered across the calendar.
So pretty much build that reaction early, and you shall reap your rewards.
It's definitely a choice. But yeah, like 1 lap in, Pierre Hood leads Devil, and then his brother Paul Hood, Dadley and Mark Muller around at your top 5. But remember, it's 2 laps, so if you have saved some turbo, maybe use it here for 1 big lap instead of 2 medium laps. You see there, Pierre Hood is being caught up a little bit by the ones behind that saved up boost. So now as they start rounding out the last corner, we'll see the times trickle in.
Oh, Pierre Dadley takes over first place.
And there we go. Pierre Dadley will take pole position here, pipping the 2 Aston Martins. Hendricks from 2 Aston Martins in the top 3.
So to us, yeah.
Yeah. So Dadley from Hood, Devil 4th, Muller 5th, Jobin 6th, Sully 7th, Furious Chicken 8th, Zenia Della Torre 9th, Late for Bingo 10th, and who is Fullerton? I believe Fullerton is one of the default names in there. Let's remember Fullerton, and that should be, I believe. Well, the qualifier's been done. I'll write it in the note. It's fine. You can have the race going. It's just a matter of remembering who Fullerton is. Okay. Sounds good. Go back so I can take a screenshot. Just so that we have the names in the correct order. So, okay, go down. And if ever you wanted to know, guys, why we say the names of all the drivers is every once in a while we catch something like this.
Yeah. So, for example, because I had myself muted, Fullerton is a default name. So what we're going to do is we're saving the pole position for this, and we're double checking to make sure that the racers have the proper updated attributes and stats.
Volkswagen, we are supposed to have Alex Burkhardt and Felix van der Buysen.
Okay.
So Alex Burkhardt is there in 17th, so that would be Felix van der Buysen, who is supposed to be Fullerton.
Alright, you've got all these names?
Yes.
Perfect.
Let's make sure that it's got the correct settings.
Correct. I'll pull up the player stuff real quick.
Just to check.
It's okay. It's good. It lets your guys' voice rest.
Yeah.
Well, perfect, because I came from playing League, which will get me shouting a lot.
Yeah, that'll get your voice going a little bit.
Yeah, that's why I don't play League.
Yeah.
What happened to...
It's supposed to be Felix Vander Bison. You want me to give you the name?
Oh, sorry. I got it.
I also believe the Mole KTM also reverted because it's a different league.
Yeah.
It's
I'll update the names after.
BEI. Yeah. Then it's Volkswagen IBM, not IBS.
FVD.
IBS is irritable bowel syndrome, which
Ah, you're on to me. You're on to me.
What if Volkswagen IBM? What would they call them? Wait, what if we call them Intel?
What?
Actually, no, that wouldn't work.
This
No.
guy, he's a quick one. Yeah, so, yeah.
and then Mole Adra needs to be put back to Mole KTM.
So yeah, all of the people's attributes are correct.
Okay, so it's just a matter of doing the custom grid and getting them back into the correct order.
Yeah.
M.
M as a moto.
KTM.
Yeah. And that needs to be updated on the database.
Sure. Details. I will.
Okay.
Database and stuff is going to be
Okay.
red.
Perfect.
Cool. So we can go back and I guess make a custom
I'll just
thing.
make no qualifiers needed. Off grid position.
I think you have to press to view grid.
Sorry, press to do grid.
Where it says next to qualifying on the right side, it says press to view grid.
I am pressing it. And it just has it as off. I'll just do this as an example and see if...
Sure, let's try something. Let's figure it out.
Yeah. So we're not...
No, that's going to start the race. Nope.
Okay.
Oh, that's quick.
We may just
What if you hit O?
O as in...
Options? No. Back. And if anything, we'll just rerun it.
Yeah, that might be what we have to do. That's the simplest thing. Well, shoot. Learning experience.
Hey, so early years, early seasons.
Mm-hmm.
These are the times where we iron out the mistakes for better product.
So, I guess I'll just run it as, I'll just run it again. Okay.
Love
Love the elevator music. It's beautiful.
Okay. We will rerun it. The results are going to be slightly different, but I don't think it's going to be too different. Sorry about that, guys. Better safe than sorry.
Yeah, apologies there. But Beholder's definitely making a huge getaway this time round. Bro, did he use all his boost? Doesn't look like so. Well, Pierre is gonna try and take away from this one. As Paul takes the lead, Pierre, Devil, Dadley, and Muller, that'll be top 5, but Again, 2 laps of qualifying. Oh, here comes Muller at the back. Yeah. Whoa. I think we do have a different set of results.
How different are they, though? The top 3 are still the top 3, just slightly swapped around. Devil went from 4th to 4th. Carvalho went from 16th to 5th, so that's a surprising result. Muller still around the same. Chicken around the same. Raikkonen went up a little bit. Van der Buysen up a little bit. Okay. Sure. We're gonna continue keeping these results. They're mostly the same-ish within a position or two. If we have to resim and resim until we get the exact same result, it's never gonna happen. There's too many variables. Yeah. Yeah, we are ready to move on. Sorry, I'm just not going to dwell too long on that. Yeah. We'll chalk that up to learning experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're off with the Hood brothers in the lead, with Dadley challenging one of them and getting past Pierre for second place. Looks like the battle for second place is going to last a bit longer, as actually Pierre zooms by and takes first place from his brother. Top 3 already building a little bit of a gap to the rest. Yep.
Well, is that the Hendrick man versus the Aston Martin brothers? And well, I'm pretty sure the Hood brothers will want to make sure that they take out Dadley from the competition before he lays arrange their plans. But,
absolutely, yeah. But Dadley now has more speed than the Hood brothers and will actually zoom by and take first place. Already 1 second gap down the street using that turbo really well. But use your turbo one place and the others will use the turbo another place and probably try and close that gap. The top 3 are kind of building that gap away from everyone else. That soft tire working really well for them. Talking about the others, Muller and Van der Buysen round out your top 5. Fierce Chicken 6th, Randall Devil 7th, Genie Raikkonen 8th, Carvalho down to 8th, 9th now, and Bingo also in that top 10 battle and down in the back.
Mm-hmm. He's fighting there with Selic as well involved, and Roger District and Jackson Seal is pretty tight there to get into the top 10.
Absolutely. Maybe let's scroll back down to the standings to see a bit the battles in the back, as the top 3 seem to have calmed down a little bit.
Oh wow!
So you can see here, big battle there in the 7, 8, well, the 6th spot all the way to the 9th, 10th spot there. It's a bit of like a big battle there. As Sure Chicken went ghost mode, and he got a bit of a penalty there for some bumping, but comes back, retakes 2 positions. That is a bit of a mess there.
Yeah. Also, Carvalho is holding his own there. I do believe that the MDO KTM cars aren't as developed as others, as we see Randall Devil taking his juice by. On the Hood brothers, both in the pit as well, same time. But yeah, no, Carvalho was fighting with Moxie right there, passing Devil and Van der Buysen. He's up in third.
I mean, Dadley has got a decent lead there, but the medium tires are starting to come into their own here. Dadley's softs are not going to last too long. Still, he goes on for at least another lap. So, a very interesting decision there by our leader. Meanwhile, the one of the Hood brothers has cut up, just decides to bump Dadley to tell him, hey, follow the plan. But yeah, second Hood brother is coming after finally getting past Muller and Carvalho.
Yeah.
But yeah, the soft tires of your Dadley are hurting right now, and I think it's time to get rid of them.
Yep, and here
we
here
go.
we go. Yeah, Hood Brothers will take for 1-2 once again. Pierre second, Paul first. Mark Miller third. Matthias Carvalho fourth place, and Randall Devil was fifth.
And actually, Dadley comes back with a fresh set of softs. A very aggressive strategy to start this race.
Absolutely mad there.
Nothing with 34 laps, and you hold your softs for later in the race.
Curious question. Yeah, how have KTM done, and in particular Matthias Carvalho? Because I don't know if KTM team, MDL KTM team. Oh, Carvalho into pits, but yeah.
I mean, Carvalho, I think, did decent last season. Don't remember him, ever challenging for a win. But yeah.
This is certainly a turn-up race to note down for Carvalho.
But Randall Devil, they're smoking quite a bit. Definitely will need to go into the pits soon. Don't want to see a car stop on track due to too much damage. And he's down on power and going to be falling down the standings here. You lose so much power when you're like damaged below half.
Uh-oh.
It looks like the tire strategy is more important than the car health, which is very questionable there by Randall Devil, as Jobin now passes his teammate.
Jobin's going to be relied upon, therefore, Alpina, because I don't know.
Definitely not the same level of performance by Alpina in the F1 compared to the F2 race today. Yeah. Maybe resting a bit too much on their laurels and the champagne from the previous race.
Yep, Sad Italian is also having to go around AA on Hennessy, making the pass.
Yep.
AA1.
There we go. Randall Devil goes into the pits, and maybe we can take a look at the Hood brothers up front, who are running their own race up there, one in front of the other. Pierre in front of Paul, followed comfortably by Pierre Dadley, who's running his own race. They're in third, but will come in for an early pit change. Those tires are not fully worn, but decides to go on to mediums.
I still have to question the use of a second pair of softs so quickly. Because that was a gamble to see if they can catch up to the Hood brothers, and yeah, didn't pay off there. But jeez, Pierre is in his own world, and Paul is too. Although Mark is catching up to Paul.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean, those medium tires Paul put, both Hood brothers go into the pits at the same time again. So it looks like there's not much difference for them between the hard and the mediums. Both of them, I believe, swap tires, actually. I believe Pierre was on hards, now on the medium, and Paul was on the hards, on mediums and now on hards, or something like that.
Yep.
But Mark Muller now is the one driver that can challenge them, although one pit stop less, and Pierre is already ahead of them.
Sorry if we can see Mark Miller's tires. Yep.
Well, they're decent. They'll go a bit longer.
Yeah,
it is a long race with 34 laps, and we're only a third of the way through the race at the moment. But just to give everyone a bit of the state of things, Pierre Hood leads from Mark Muller, from Pierre Dadley. From Paul Hood. There's two Pierres, and I got me confused for a sec. Carvalho 5th, Van der Buysen 6th, Jimmy Räikkönen 7th, Jobin 8th, Fierce Chicken 9th, and Hennessy 10th. It's definitely difficult races on reaction tracks for Ferrari. We saw that last season. It's the same this season so far. Definitely banking on other tracks coming in later in the season to make up the difference.
I mean, it is very much a. I wouldn't have guessed Miami to be a reaction track per se. Just I guess not. But then again, I have to concede that the S's are really making up for time there. If we don't react fast enough to make the turns for the S's, for the twist tight turns, is going to be a hard one. Well, Jobin coming up right behind Jimmy Räikkönen, and there goes a Jobin.
Yep. I mean, Jobin, really pushing hard there, but goes into the pits. So does Jimmy Räikkönen. So their fight is not over yet, as Carvalho actually goes all out, and I believe that is Fierce Chicken right behind him in that bright yellow maple stroop.
Also, Jesko, you can bully MOL KTM. Except for Carvalho this race. This race he's just having the field day of 5th. But yeah. Who I can't really say too much though. Pierre Hood he's gone. I don't think there's any way to say he's totally gone.
Yeah, I mean, Pierre Hood really invested hard there on those reaction tracks, and it's paying off early this season. We'll see how it goes for the rest of the season, but no. And the top 2 is the same top 2 in the first 2 races of the season. That bodes very well for both drivers for the championship. But the championship is a long thing. There are 15 races on the menu. We're not even a third of the way through.
Yep. In comes Fierce Chicken as he overtakes Jimmy Räikkönen there, but immediately he loses that spot right back.
Fierce Chicken will need to go into the pits there. He is losing too much time.
Yeah. That was probably a last gasp there. Before that medium went, Van der Bison also should take a careful look at his softs, looking like they might go in 1 or 2 more laps. Oh, goes in now. For another pair of softs at that, so I think he'll have it too. This will be 1 more stop if he decides to go on the medium or hard. Doesn't look too bad there, as the field has very much spaced out.
Yeah, as Koa says in chat, F3 has had back-to-back winner, so does F2, and Aston now has 1-2 yet again. And I mean, it's not like we're, it's 2 different simmers for both races, so, it's not like we can say anything but the stats. So there's definitely something that we will see once all the updates go in for the next race. This is the goal. So there's definitely going to be some boosts here and there. We're also moving away from a reaction track after this race for a bit. So hopefully we see some more varied results.
Just to note as well, we do not fix things. Well, I can't, and I believe Zone can't as well.
I'm sure that our simmer would love to fix things, but unfortunately, Alpine or Aston Martin are not our simmer team. We just saw the bug again. We just saw the bug again where someone wants the pit but gets pushed by another car, and we'll have to do another lap on those.
Who was that?
Dark Blue, I believe, is one of the Hot Wheels.
Yeah, it was a blue car, that's for sure. But
I believe it might be Burkhart
yeah,
down there. As we will see him pop by there in the smoking car.
yeah, that's Burkhardt. Well, not Burkhardt,
No,
but
that's not Burkhart. It has to be someone else. Puff Carpenter. Oh, he puffing alright.
Huff, puff, puff, and
Oh,
blow away on that engine.
I really hope for his sake that he makes it back into the pits because that is...
Oh no, it's gone then. Oh dear. I have...
Let's follow him because this is very interesting to see. Can he make it back to the pits? Because this should not be happening. He should have gone into the pits there.
That went,
Black smoke.
I think it's terminal. Do we get safety cars here?
We do not get safety cars, unfortunately. But you're going to see what happens when a car has 0 health. Is that they become a moving pylon as they have to basically inch their way around with no speed.
A huff and a puff.
And there we go.
Blow
Puff Carpentier becomes, I believe, our second ever car to DNF. It's actually there. And now he becomes a bit of a roadblock and a bit of a damage cone for others. And maybe all those bumps will actually help him. Thank you, Selich there.
Oof.
Oh, his teammate gives him a boost, but
Boost him to glory.
excuse me, but this is hilarious.
This is screenshot worthy. I'll tell you straight right now for free.
Wow, look at that. Bobby Brooks in last decides, you know what? Thank you for the last place. You can keep it.
Yeah, we'll help you along to the end, and Jobin does too.
And look at that. Puff Carpentier actually makes it back into the pits thanks to the help of all the other drivers. This is your wholesome moment of the season.
Ah, and there will never be another one like this again for quite a while.
He's trying to get into that box.
Come on! Come on! No!
Where are the mechanics?
The mechanics are just back there, just sitting like, well, we can't do anything. Birkin,
We are going to let him be smoking there. We shall see him on occasion. But at the moment, the Hood brothers are having quite the little tussle there for first place.
Well, Pierre finally passes Paul, but just goes in for pits. Medium for him.
With 8 laps to go, those medium tires are going to have to do a little bit more work. I think they can't get to the end, but we'll see.
I think Carpentier is looking for Roger Destrug to get him by. Who's also looking. He has made it!
Carpentier, you absolute legend. You are back in it.
He is no longer the second to DNF.
What a legend. No DNFs this race. Even though it said DNF, he's made it back to the pits. The wholesome moment has been completed.
He made it. 118-second pit clock. That will be the time for that.
But you know what? He's back out there. He's not giving up. If anything, it's more practice for the next race.
He's
Good on
fighting.
Meanwhile, the Hood brothers are going at it. Paul is closing the gap to Pierre right there, overtaking him. I mean, you know, if we can't have a different winner, we might as well have a different winner within the team. Paul ahead of Pierre, Pierre ahead of Paul, you know, zigzags.
Who won last race between the Hughes brothers?
I believe Pierre won. But I mean, we're looking at all the races, all the racing that's happening around, and other than the top two now that are kind of jostling for position, everyone else has pretty much, built their gap here and there. So it's not like there's much hard racing going on at the moment. It's mostly tire management at this point.
Except for 5th and 6th, Carvalho and Bandit Bison.
Bandit Bison is closing in on Carvalho, who is having a bit of a hard time there getting past Oshag Hennessy.
Wait, I thought it was AA1 Hennessy.
Aaron Oshag Hennessy.
A1 Oshag. Wow.
But look at those drifts around. This is time for some fresh tires for a whole bunch of our drivers. As Vander Bison comes out of the pits on hards, I believe. So those hards are going to go till the end. Definitely, the hard tire drivers are going to the end as of now on those tires that they just put on. Imagine, this is what we did, is we also lowered the tire wear there. And they're still running 4 or 5 pits.
Only Pirelli could do so. But at the same time, well, it's still gonna be. Oh, Carvalho's in the pits. Here comes the Bison. This will be interesting.
And Carvalho holds on with those soft tires. He can actually push forward.
Yeah.
Although Carvalho does have a 9-second, gap to Muller, and Muller actually. Let's go check Muller's tires real quick.
Yeah.
And Muller's tires are pretty fresh. I believe he can go to the end.
Fully. There's no way that Carvalho will be able to catch him as it is. So I think he should be looking back to where Van der Bison is. Oh, can we also check on the Hood brothers as well? Pierre in particular. Well, Paul is good. Pierre's gonna have to pit. So that could bring Daddy back into the race.
I think 10.5 seconds back from second is a bit too much, even with the pits. I just believe maybe one of the Pierre brothers, one of the Hood brothers, puts some softs on. Maybe goes for that fastest lap. Might as well get all the points while you're at it.
Very much so. Everyone looks settled in, indeed.
Yeah, I mean the closest gaps are around the 13th, 14th place in the standings at the moment, with D-Streak kind of pushing Bingo, and Bingo kind of trying to close in on Jackson Sile.
Yeah,
in fact, actually, Bingo is pushing really hard for that 12th spot.
Yep.
And it will actually take 12th from Sile, and now Sile takes it back.
Hood also went in for pits for soft. He'll be going for fastest lap. And Daddy, he still has tires to play with, so it's not like it's over for him. Meanwhile, I think we should take a look at 5th, 6th, 7th. Carvalho, Van der Bison, and Jobin are pretty close together right now.
Well, Carvalho's just taken over 3 lap cars. Sorry about that. It's been a long day.
Oh, it's a long morning for me now. Then comes Van der Bison. And, well, can he get past those cars with... Yeah, a lap to go. Who knows? Well, shall we turn over to...
Who took an 8.5 second gap down to 4, and now down to 3, actually. Can we just quickly follow Pierre Hood? I mean, I think it's a little too late as like that, but still closing an almost 9-second gap down to 3.25. I think one more lap and he would have had him. But the Hood brothers, Paul from Pierre this time, will win it. Dadley will take 3rd.
Honors even between the two. And I take an applause to Mateus Carvalho. What a ride there. That's alright there to finish in 5th. Shall I?
Go for it.
Alright, thank you very much. Alright, race results here for F1 in Miami. Paul Hood to finish in top spot, Pierre Hood second, and Pierre Dadley to finish up top 3. Mark Muller in 4th place for Mercedes. Carvalho MOL KTM 5th place. Volkswagen IBM Van der Bison comes in 6th. A. Jobin and Vandil Devil 7th and 8th for Alpina. McLaren's Jimmy Raikkonen in 9th, and Furious Chicken to finish in 10th for the top 10. Selection 11th place for McLaren. Oh gosh, that name's gonna hurt. Latte for Bingo.
Late for
Hendricks.
bingo.
Late for Bingo, Hendricks, 12th place. Roger de Struik, Hot Wheels, 13th. 14th, Jackson Seal, 15th. I'm gonna need help again for the sad Italians.
Aaron O'Shea Hennessy.
AA1 O'Shea Kennedy, and 15th. Zenia de la Toy, ML KTM 16th. 17th for Alex Burkhardt, 18th Xavi Venegas, 19th Bobby Brooks for the sad Italians, and 20th place after an admirable performance at a plus 298.17 time difference is Puff Carpenter for Hot Wheels.
Yeah. What did we think of the race? I mean, for me, as I said, you look at your top performers on reaction tracks, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, pretty much what I expected in terms of results for a reaction track.
It was a hell of a race to enjoy, I'll say that, and I enjoyed the F2 for the chaos support. F1 was a lot more precise, and you can see just how much each stats mean for the car and for the driver itself. Just mwah.
Yeah. So just to close out a little bit, next race we will be in Canada on a momentum track. So first non-reaction track of the season. We'll see some of the bigger names probably come back up that had that's what we had in the previous one. I don't believe we saw Canada last season. Maybe I'm wrong. Actually, maybe we have. I don't recall off the top of my head. I don't know when we're going to do the race, but more importantly, for that race, we will probably have everything up to date in terms of updates for people. So it might take a few days just to get back through everything and rechange everything due to the changes to the Discord name stuff, which broke a lot of our sheets. But stay tuned. We do want to try and get that this week.
Yeah, ideally it'll be Thursday.
So ideally, bar anything crazy, it'll be Thursday. It'll be with someone else. I will not be there to cast, unfortunately. But I'm sure other people are more than happy to step in.
Yeah, so long as time is decent.
With that said, thank you all. This has been Zune, Dwight Knight, and Project Saint signing off for tonight. Good night.